Time is an
strange.
It is
Yes.
social construct.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly.
Time flies. Creepy insects. Alright. So, Keiban team versus Wendell team. We've seen a lot of both of these characters today. And we've seen a lot of Zales who both jump in.
Yeah, this is actually really interesting. We've been seeing the builds for Zale over the course of this tournament. Like, some of them like to go super aggressive, but a lot of them have been really the support build.
Yeah.
And it is to just kind of help out later down the line too.
Yeah, the sort of concept behind these teams are the packs making the way for Wendell. Though Kang is running the support Zale despite not having a Wendell team proper, she is still running the double Nightingale though, which I think has just been proven as sort of a strong offensive core, or just a strong core in general. It helps that both characters have pretty good utility beyond just Peck and Lullaby. Grace especially.
Yeah, if anything, it kind of like snowballs into each other too, because the more you use Peck, obviously you're lowering that emotional defense, and when you have Grace as well, you could just keep stacking that on, and then eventually, you know, Peck is going to be doing some significant damage.
Yeah. Wow, speaking of Peck doing significant damage...
Right on cue.
Kang loses her Zale very quickly. But Gretchling Zale is tired, only has like one more attack.
Yeah, they have to either swing into this and let it go, or try to save it for maybe a block later.
Right.
We'll see what they decide to play out here.
Right. Part of the other strength of having the double Nightingale is that if one of them dies, you still have the Peck on the other one. So, like, even if Gretchling Zale dies, Gretchling still has Grace on the backup in case, like, Gretchling needs to take out Kangarus's Grace.
There, we have the firm handshake out by Kazu. It's just a good lock onto Clint here. He either, if he switches, you know, breaks the only battery that Wendell has. So, really locking him in here.
Yep. And there's the flourish. Trapped, firm handshake. Switches in Wendell.
Gives him a firm handshake too.
Yep. That is, if you can get that off, it's been pretty strong here. Definitely shutting off the battery against Wendell is huge, but even against other teams, simply just shutting off one battery is, like... It removes a very important resource.
Yeah, and a lot of people, at least for me, like, I prioritize trying to get my battery so I know I have it later. It's one of those things where if you have it in your back pocket, you feel a little bit safer, but if it's gone, you just gotta figure out how to do it. And especially when it's Wendell, like, you only get one battery.
Right. So
forcing that switch means no parry, there's no speed. If he doesn't outspeed, for example, like, you know, a priority hit, he's just gone.
It's also funny to note that Detach Wendell does not take damage from lock, but the damage has already been done by the time he switches out. Also, Hungry Lise is going to really help melt through Lise's bulkiness. A character that's normally just very, very stressful to take out in any sort of way.
It's just a little bit of a pest, just trying to hit the Infuriate to not only stop tricks from happening, but also it's just a solid wall. You have to get through it, or you either take the L there.
Right. Yeah, Lise is one of, like, the best mixed defenses, or, like, mixed tanks in that regard. Not super heavy on the defense like some other characters like Jane, but Lise makes up for that in just versatility.
Yeah, it's a very good Swiss Army knife of a character if you want to point it in that kind of direction. Like, you could either have it be aggressive. It has options like Disruption Wave, Admire, and then there's a bunch of tricks that you could also pull out as well.
Right. The Lise, realistically, on Gretchling's side, only has one more turn. That hunger is taking its toll.
Yeah, so it either stays in, tries to get a hit. Oh, it's going to go for the heart to heart. Okay, so
Interesting.
I don't know if it it does.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, the
Wow.
lucky pendant there just really helps heal up there. Slow Lando. Great.
Here we go.
Yep. Lise is knocked out on Gretchling's side after a very long campaign of just very solid heart-to-hearts.
Yeah, can't eat too much off of that, and you know what? This is why they're in the winners bracket and we're not. I was like, I can't math that fast.
Yeah.
They got it.
I can add numbers together and divide them quickly. It's the combat math I'm bad at.
Yeah, I don't have that Pokemon damage calculator in my brain. So this was just really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Brings in the Clint. We know it brought snacks, so it might just be, there it is, the tag out just to get some HP back.
Yeah, that's a very useful sort of thing you can do, is that if you're okay with another character taking damage, or you can like threaten a switch out, you can bring in Clint just to heal Clint. He's got those hungry snacks. That's a dead Zale now.
That's a dead Zale, yeah.
Tazu is sad, but Tazu's also pretty low on health, so it's hard to say how much that'll come into play.
Yeah, I don't think that was, so it wasn't impactful. You would have wanted to land that disruption wave on someone else,
Right.
but being able to at least threaten this is pretty helpful.
Yeah, sort of like a one last chance to use Zale to do something important. I think it's more so like Kang is definitely okay with making Tazu sad, especially because she already has a battery. Brings in Keiban though to take whatever physical attack Clint's bringing. Thorn Pendant
Yeah, the Thorn
Keiban.
Pendant.
We don't
Fury
always see
Pendant.
it, but it's a pretty solid option.
It is. If you know that they have to go for physical attack here, then yeah, this is now the question for Gretchling. Oh, okay, they just answered it. It's like, do you switch, you bring in Grace, and try to start going for Pex on the Keiban, just to try to whittle down and get ready for Wendell. You could also save Clint a little. You could buy Clint a little bit more time too, with that play, and that's exactly what they decided to go for.
Right. Yeah, I think this also is a chance for Gretchling to try to peck at Keiban. Instead, the switch to Tazu definitely helps out to block that peck there. Much rather have that on the character who's already on their way out.
Exactly. Just getting a couple drops here will be helpful. So we'll see. Hopefully Grace can get this KO if they can.
Parry.
Oh, parry. Very good read. The Firewall
Yes.
is going to be able to take out Grace.
Very effective there. That shuts down the peck completely. It costs 2 batteries, but it's pretty worth it.
Yeah, and now I think you could just
Ooh.
switch. Oh, it's a back pocket locket as well, so
Interesting.
getting that back.
That was for Firewall, I believe. So
believe
it's
so.
kind of weird. I don't think the Firewall is necessarily that helpful to get back. I almost wonder if it was more for like Lunch Invite to get
Yeah.
that more uses.
The Fashion Vice trying to break the necklace as well here.
Yep.
That's a big chunk of damage.
Wendell's definitely going very fast. So I
Yeah.
think Kang is now in like meter mode. Looking at those 2 pips remaining, looking over her team.
Yeah. How are you going to get those last 2 bits of battery? And then try to parry and get some damage on Wendell.
Yeah. Wendell outspeeding everybody, definitely a pretty big threat at this point. Even though most of them can't really like block. I guess the Keiban and Lee sort of can.
Yeah. If they block, they could probably tank 1 hit. And
Yeah.
then we have to see what else follows that up, though.
Right. So it is worth noting that because of the Keiban captain on Kang's side, which is a fun alliteration, Kang now has a full battery because she took a hit as well as died. And so the Keiban captain plan allows her to even quicker sort of launch this counterattack.
Yeah, and we got to see what damage they go for here. Like, they have to be able to tank one hit. They have to pop the Gloam Locket as well. So
Right.
it's either just straight damage, maybe as we see the options coming through. Okay, so the Flaunt doesn't KO. The Admire is going to bring him down to the Gloam Locket, which is important. Now with the battery, if you want to make sure that you get the KO here, you might go for that. You might go for the parry to just try to get the KO, or I don't know if you try to read this into a Clint switch either, but I don't see that really coming through.
Yeah, it's sort of a 50-50 here, since I mean, if Gretchling switches into Clint, then you don't really want to Admire or, you know, parry, but parrying the Wendell is so huge. I like the parry fireworks because of that. It almost
that
covers
has
both
good coverage.
options.
Yeah, so you either got the KO on the Wendell and blocked his next hit, or you instantly KO Clint. So
Right.
that was just good coverage option
Now,
by Kang. So yeah, now the question becomes, how does Wendell survive this?
right. I believe, yeah, Kang is at 4 battery here. I'm expecting her to switch out to try to gain a little bit more. One hit from Wendell will fill that battery up, but I don't think Lise can take the hit.
Yeah.
Lise dies. Now it's Tazu and Keiban.
Yeah, and Pazu's very low already. And once again, this comes down to speed. Like,
Yeah.
if they could survive the hit, that's one thing, and then get the hit in. But we don't know how strong. Well, we know how strong Wendell is.
I like Kang there just checking over the Wendell set just to make sure there's no surprises that could possibly turn this around.
Yeah, and that's gonna be it. They
Yep.
made sure, hit the Admire, and yeah, we would be going into the next one.
Yep. Yeah, since Gretchling didn't have a battery, flourishing for crits wasn't necessary. And Wendell's extremely low defenses makes Admire an effective tool. So Kang
Yeah,
takes
they
game
just
1.
made sure. Yeah, so Kang's gonna take game 1, and there's been a lot of this interesting play. You know, it just comes down to that end game. If you know that at the very end of it, it is gonna be Wendell. How are you gonna outplay that? And that's the kind of the downfall of, you know, Wendell teams in general. I play Wendell a lot too, so I would know you want to make him like your end game boss, where he just kind of comes in, you run the double Nightingale, but yeah, we'll see. What obviously we have to switch in because it is, you know, the rule set. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, looks like Kang is locking in this Eric team. Eric captain has proven pretty effective considering the second place from last tournament ran that. And it looks pretty similar to that team as far as characters. But I have to wonder how much of a... yes, Zodai's in the chat, shouts out. I wonder how much of a difference Kang is running from that. If she's pulling out like any weird inclusions in terms of like tricks or anything.
Yeah, and I remember seeing this Eric team from
Ooh,
last
Saleh
tournament
team
the
from
other day.
Gretchling.
Ooh, okay.
Saleh, Odette, Fair, and Eric and Cherry. Cherry is interesting.
Cherry's
on
very
Saleh.
interesting. I don't know, and it's not like the captain Cherry either. So we know that it's looking to just outspeed and counter priority if they have it, which they do. When Saleh does come in, that might be an answer to it. But they're both leading with their Eric.
Yep. With Kang, that means an entire full battery already. Ooh, does way more damage to Gretchling's Eric.
Yeah, it might be investment. Yeah, that little bit of more investment going towards King's Eric.
Yeah. I like the switch into Tazu here. One of the strengths of the Eric Tazu core is the ability to threaten this pop-ups in turn 3 rather. Turn 4? One of those. It's a number.
Yeah, turn 3. Yeah, somewhere in the low single digits here. Flourish bypass.
Oh, that's right.
claw.
Gretchling has the non-binary color scheme. Shouts out. Captain plan on the Eric in bypass clause. Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Forgot to say the captain's plan is just gonna bring him all the way back up. So
Heal to full.
surviving this turn.
And we had a
Really?
firewall from Kang. Looking to pretty much just gain some extra damage and tank the fireworks. Definitely helping
Yeah.
out here. Backlash also putting on a lot of damage and kills the Eric for that.
Yeah, and that's kind of big, considering that's kind of your big battery, offensive battery getter right there. But we'll see what Gretchling also has on this team and if it's gonna lead into other things.
Oh, apparently Kang's color scheme is an unreleased one from beta. Sneaky. Yeah, Gretchling doesn't have any other scavengers, so there's no charge panel coming in either.
Yeah, the Pester Bomb landing on Baron is gonna take away that lunch invite option, but
It
still has a couple of other things.
Yeah, it's not the worst target for Pester Bomb as far as what Kang's concerned. I think, you still have Topple Hammer, you have Ride Up, you still have a lot of damage. Have we seen any Fell Captains? I believe we have not seen any Fell Captains. Or rather, no, there was one early on. It didn't go to Dark Phoenix, though. Topple Hammer, this is looking pretty scary for Gretchling.
This is spooky, yeah. This is the captain, so if they do get the KO, especially since it's a Flourish Topple Hammer, we'll see if they go into something else here. Oh, they're going for the
round end.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Incredible. Brings Sayla out, but also just, cancels the Topple Hammer there. Even then, it's really just gave Sayla 25 health and didn't progress a whole lot else. Maybe it's the safe switch in?
That might be the option. It was just make sure, okay, we're keeping our captain alive. They could threaten with the Topple Hammer. Oh, and Cherry's coming in. Okay.
Of course, with flourishes, it only costs the energy if you actually get it off. So it didn't quite matter that the flourish was clicked. Also, flourish parry pop-ups.
Yeah, flourish parry pop-ups. They're just making sure that we can get up all three. Yeah, this is pretty spooky.
No necklace.
No necklace.
Very emotive playing for the spectators from Kang. Thank you so much. Gretchling puts Gretchling's own pop-ups. Its own pop-ups there on the field. Oh, that's why. The parry didn't block the locket loss from the fashion
True.
advice. That was the thing.
Yeah, so fashion advice doesn't get the extra bonus damage because they're not wearing anything.
Or
So,
rather,
it's a great play.
even though Kang did not take damage from it from the parry didn't block the necklace removal, which I think is a bug. From what it sounds like in the chat. Brings in Lise. No more pop-ups? Oh, fashion advice.
We'll see if this one KOs. It
Nope.
doesn't. Okay.
Lise
So-
is too bulky.
But the question now is, will Lise be able to survive an attack as well? Oh wait, there's no disruption wave.
Yeah.
Okay. But the tidy's good
Yeah,
as
tidy
well. It's gonna do it.
Tidy only clears out your field's stuff, I guess.
Yeah, it just clears up your side, so they'll keep their pop-ups on their side. They've also locked Cherry in here. Forgot about the crash. So
Right.
see what they decide to do. Goes for the sob story.
Doesn't do
And
anything for now.
Yeah.
I believe Sob Story has 2 uses now. If I remember
don't
correctly.
remember.
Yes.
It does.
So
I could try to
technically,
go for it again.
the second Sob Story is a possibility.
Oh,
Nope.
Just gonna reset that pop-up.
Yeah, Sob Story and Decoy got the extra usage buff. I like the fireworks there as just like a way to kind of guarantee getting a battery again when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Surviving the fireworks, of course, gave Cherry another day. Ooh.
A quick switch and another tidy. All right.
I guess Switch is in while they expected the tidy.
Yeah.
Farron blocks the
Alrighty.
riding crop very well. Thorn
And
pendant.
he's wearing
Farron.
thorn pendant. That's interesting.
Don't mess with this grandpa.
Yeah, these pop-ups are gonna start stacking up pretty quickly.
Yep.
But yeah, they got that off, and I don't know actually. With Eric being out, I think that was their only, might have been their only way of like clearing it, unless there's a tidy somewhere on that team.
Yeah, I don't think there is the ability to tidy up on the remaining characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like pop-ups, you don't always see them, but you do have to be prepared because when they happen hard.
Yeah,
They
and
will
it's not
catch
just
you.
like 1 or 2 times. Like they're gonna be applying pressure throughout the game too.
Yeah.
So if you really don't have an answer for it, it does stack up and it hurts.
Lise is going to lunch, but Farron just has so many pop-ups for things non-food related. This is
Yeah,
why
they're-
you
they're
install
just-
an antivirus.
Yeah. Are we gonna get a character with antivirus? Maybe.
I think
Just-
that's just going to be the term I use instead of like a pop-up clearer or like a spinner or a defogger. It's antivirus.
Yeah. There we go.
Ad blocker maybe as well.
The
Fireworks
are gonna
cleans up
come
the
in.
Farron. Just a
Gonna favor a
full
little bit with HP.
little bit. One more turn,
Yeah.
but with a full battery now. I believe that's the last battery in terms of like, if Kang were to parry, she would be out after that.
Yeah. If it's Lise that's staying in.
Yeah. Comes Odette. Takes a huge damage from the
Huge
pop-ups.
Pop-ups.
I almost have to wonder if Gretchling just wants to stall out the hunger here. Pastor Bomb comes in on Farron though.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to stop the tidy from happening. I think that was the justification for that. So
Right.
preventing that, allowing Cherry to maybe switch in, well, with 1 HP when the switch comes through. Unless they're saving it because they do have Sayla. So
Right.
if it is a flourish switch in plus a speed, they'll be able to heal that up again. But you're playing with fire. You're treading on thin ice.
Yeah.
So literally 1 HP. here.
Well, here comes the Cherry at that magic pixel. Pop-ups do not matter to her. I mean, they do, but, you know. Of course, Kang has an entire team here.
Yeah.
A whole 5 characters. That fashion advice didn't do a whole lot either. In the
and the
backlash.
is gonna get. Yeah, that was a good switch in.
Yeah. Here comes Sayla to try and wrap things up. Gonna be pretty hard though.
Has 1 battery to play with, so.
The only thing wrapped is Sayla's fists.
Yeah.
And I guess her sword? Perhaps?
we'll see when the window is shrunk
Yeah.
again. I think they're trying to figure out what they're gonna go for here. Underdog. It was a flicker glove. Flourish flicker glove.
It's gonna heal up Sayla.
There's a thorn pendant though, as
Yeah.
well on Baron. So even though it was a good heal up, it's just now you know that he's carrying that. You have to hit it.
Yeah, since the battery's out of the way for now, it definitely seems like Gretchling is out of options here. That's just a regular
Yeah.
flicker glove, but Farron doesn't care. He's got a big coat.
He's got a big spiky coat, if anything, hitting him with the thorn pendant as well. And then yeah, that topple hammer is gonna do a lot of damage as well.
Yeah. I'm honestly expecting just like parry right up. Doesn't parry though. Oh, I guess Thorn Pendant doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
Kang takes that game pretty cleanly. Pop-ups doing work. Significant work.
Yeah, just a lot of coverage and no real answer for that. There's no tidy. There was and I think Eric, if anything, probably had the disruption wave, but it just wasn't there in time.
Yeah. It just
They took care of the threat early and then just made sure that, you know, we can set up pop-ups, and if they can't clear it, we have the game.
Mhm.